Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Russian Wunderwaffe is here. Well, it seems like the Russians already tested this Wunderwaffe in combat, and that is a laser gun. Not that kind of laser gun, but a laser gun. And they used it, and it works. I have here an article from the source, which is Sputnik, and they will tell us about this weapon's characteristics. Supposedly is very efficient, and I just skimmed through the article, and it's a long article, but I will just jump from one to another. It seems like it can blind satellites and shit. So let's look over this little thing from Sputnik. Today, the 21st of September 2023. Science fiction turned into reality. Russian laser weapons, plural, successfully tested in combat. Russia is testing its cutting-edge laser weapons in Ukraine. What is known about these arms based on new physical principles? ? While addressing the Eastern Economic Forum earlier this month, I covered that, Putin announced Russia is working on, quote-unquote, weapons based on new physical principles that will ensure the security of any country in the near historical perspective, end quote. Now, indeed, in March 1st, 2018, Putin mentioned Russia's laser weapon for air defense and anti-satellite warfare, the Peresvet, during his address to the Federal Assembly. The Peresvet, named after the medieval Orthodox warrior monk Alexander Peresvet, hey, I pronounce it however I want, enter experimental combat duty in the Russian Armed Forces in December 2018. By February 2019, the Russian president announced the laser installations had confirmed their unique characteristics along with the Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. Okay. So in May 2022, another Russian laser weapon, the Zadira Bully, oh my god, so offensive, or badass, was said to be deployed during the Ukraine conflict to shoot down Ukrainian drones. And I'm quoting, yes, the first samples are already in use, Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Borisov told a Russian broadcaster. And I'm quoting, our physicians and doctors, medical doctors, physicists have developed and are now mass producing laser systems. Oh my. The Zadira became known to the public during the International Military Technical Forum, Army 2017. At that time, the Russian Ministry of Defense and the Federal State Unitary Enterprise Russian Federal Nuclear Center inked a contract to carry out development work on so-called Zadira 16. So what is the Peresvet laser system? While information and technical characteristics of Russia's laser weapons are shrouded in secrecy, it is known that Peresvet is a strategic laser platform designed to disable enemy spacecraft at altitudes up to, brace yourselves, 1,500 kilometers. That's 900, let's say, miles. 900 miles. Still, a laser with enough power to blind satellites should also be capable of hitting atmospheric aircraft, as per international military observers. Officials believe it can also burn out the equipment of reconnaissance aircraft and drones, and with some modifications, even physically destroy them at close range. Experts have additionally indicated that Peresvet is used to camouflage the launch positions of the RS-24 Yars intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay. So this is how is the Zadira used in Ukraine. While the Peresvet blinds the enemy's system, the Zadira burns them down. The weapon can hit an unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, at a distance of up to 5 kilometers. During testing, a drone flying 5 kilometers away was struck by the Zadira and burned out within 5 seconds. That's a good one. Now, what other laser arms does Russia have in its toolbox? In addition to the Zadira and Peresvet, the Russian military also mentioned the Luchezar project in their bulletins. The promising small-sized mobile laser system is designed to neutralize reconnaissance devices containing CCD matrices by effectively damaging them. A specific feature of this laser system is its lens, which allows it to destroy surveillance equipment, according to Russian Ministry of Defense. Let's see. Let's go to see what other nations develop laser weapons. Such development have been carried out by the US. Turkey has now entered the testing stage, and the UK is testing its laser weapons too. Israel has a laser system which is part of the Iron Drone, but judging by reports, the Israeli combat laser has never been used effectively against missiles. Okay. Very good. What are laser arms' advantages and disadvantages? Laser weapons allow you to hit a target almost instantly at long range and do it silently. And laser weapons still have disadvantages, highlighted Sputnik's interlocutor. In fog, in rain, or in cloudy weather, lasers are less effective if we are talking about long-range weapons. However, lasers have appeared which can pass through clouds or fog with minimal loss. As for rain, the problem remains serious. The main achievement that was made in the West is difficult to say how objective and true it is, but a year ago there was information that at one German university, if I'm not mistaken, in Würzburg, scientists managed to combine 10 laser beams into one, and thus instead of 30 kilowatt industrial laser, they got one single beam with a power of 300 kilowatts. It is very serious. Such a beam, of course, can be used not only against drones or cruise missiles or aircraft, but even against armored vehicles. All right, well, they're working on it, and it's not only the Russians, and at this point it's just drones as far as I can tell. And if they are capable to combine, as the Germans did, 10 laser beams into one, then there you have something that the Romanians were talking in 1968. Yeah, probably everybody was talking about it for a long time. I think I told you that little story where it was invasion of Czechoslovakia by some countries from the Warsaw Pact, if you remember, and Romania did not participate. Because Romania did not participate, Ceausescu, the dictator, let's put him this way, he came out at that time. He was the chief of the party, general secretary of the party. He came out and he said in the balcony, you can watch that speech, you can find it on YouTube. He said, well, we're not going to do this, and that's a mistake for the Soviet Union and the other countries to invade Czechoslovakia and so on. For that, there was a lot of talk about being invaded, Romania being invaded. Romania was in high alert in those times, and supposedly China as well as Yugoslavia gave some guarantees to Romania. China, it was because it was against the Soviet Union at that time, they were not friends no more. Then Yugoslavia said, Tito, the Croat Tito, he said that if the Soviets and everybody else, the Bulgarians and Hungarians, enter the Romanian territory and somehow the guys in Romania will lose or something like that, Tito allowed the government to retreat in Yugoslavia, and if the Romanian army is losing, he allowed the Romanian army or whomever to get refuge in Yugoslavia without weapons. So, or continue the fight from Yugoslavia. That this didn't happen, and there were some stories in Romanian folklore that supposedly they used the Coandă principle, Henry Coandă, excuse me, my bad, who was a scientist, Romanian scientist who mostly lived in France, and he invented this and invented that, including I think the uh, propulsion propulsion engine, like you have now for the jet engine. And he created the Coandă principle. You go and look for it if you want. And supposedly he was able, through that principle and blah blah blah, to have these Romanians have the laser weapons. And supposedly the Soviets invaded, or at least put armies at the border with Romania, which some people say it happened, and Romania supposedly melted down a few Soviet tanks, and the Soviets shitted their pants and they changed their mind. I don't think that's, I mean, I'm 99% certain that that was not true. But anyway, these kind of things are spread among population to create, this, we're gonna beat them and so on. So this is it, my friends. This is only one aspect, obviously, here. And they're talking about the earthquake, creating earthquake, and many other, how they call it at the beginning of this, non-physical something, alternative, whatever. They called it new physical weapons based on new physical principles. I know, telepathy. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.